As MILSPOUSE photographers, we often find ourselves dealing with unique challenges. Maybe our spouses work unusual hours or they're gone for extended periods of time. We likely don't have extended family nearby to help with house projects and kids and pets and all the things. And that can make running a photography business really challenging. Plus, if you're running your business by yourself, if you're not getting things done, then things just aren't getting done. So what is something that we can do to help grow our businesses and give our clients a great, consistent experience without living in our inboxes? Automations. Hear me out. If you aren't automating a good chunk of your client communication, you're making your life harder. In this video, I'm going to share 6 parts of my client experience that are completely automated and why it's good for me as well as my client. Hey friend, I'm Erin, a military spouse and teacher turned photographer, and I love helping fellow MILSPOUSE photographers build businesses that thrive despite frequent moves. Now, the first thing that absolutely 100% without question needs to be automated is your initial inquiry reply. The fact is, when a potential client inquires with you, there's a pretty good chance that they've reached out to at least a couple other photographers as well. So if you want to stay top of mind and stand out from the others, they need to get a helpful response from you quickly. For me, this looks like an automated email that goes out thanking them for inquiring, laying out all of my pricing, and then sharing next steps so they know what they need to do in order to book. I have this automation set up so that it goes out an hour after they inquire, which I have found to be a sweet spot. It gives me enough time that I can personalize the response if I happen to see it, which during business hours I often do. But even if I don't, the template is set up that it makes sense to go out as is, and it does so quickly enough that they haven't started to lose interest yet. So with this setup, it's pretty common that I don't actually directly email with a potential client until we're finalizing the booking details. This is great for me because I'm not spending a ton of time communicating with clients who aren't going to convert. And it's great for the potential client as well because they can quickly decide whether or not we're going to be a good fit. There's no use stringing things along for either of us if our expectations don't align. I really can't stress this one enough. The fact is, in the day and age that we live, people want information and they want it now. So don't miss out on potential ideal clients by not automating this step. Up next is your style guide or client experience guide. One of the most common questions that photographers get from clients is if we have suggestions on what they should wear. So one way I serve my clients really well is by answering this question for them before they've had a chance to ask it. After my clients sign their contract and pay their non-refundable initial payment, I have an automated email that goes out welcoming them to the ETP family and sending along my client experience guide. The whole idea of the client experience guide is to leave them feeling confident and ready to go for their session, so it contains everything they need to know about what to wear and how to prep. It's honestly my best resource for my clients, and so having this email set up as an automation allows them to get it as soon as they book, even if I'm not around at that moment to send them an email. The next one is a big one, payment reminders. Especially in the height of busy season, it can be a lot to keep track of who owes you how much and when it's due, and that doesn't even take into account what happens when late payments come up. Having payment reminders set up automatically is a non-negotiable for me. All of my clients receive a friendly reminder on the day that their payment is due, as well as every other day after the fact should they happen to miss it. As much as I genuinely love my job, it would be really awful to miss out on a payment because I overlooked a due date. Having these automated saves me the hassle of having to remember to check in with my clients on the day that it is due or risk them forgetting. And speaking of forgetting, these reminders are helpful to them because the majority of my clients are busy moms who are juggling lots of things too. Okay, let's keep going. The fourth thing that I automate is my final info email. This goes out to my clients the day before their session and contains helpful last-minute reminders, things like where to park, where we'll meet, what to bring. I have different versions of the email based on what type of session it is and where it's taking place, but the important part is that I personalize it right after they book and then schedule it to automatically send the day before their session. Again, helpful for them because they get the information at the opportune time, and helpful for me because I can write it when I have the time and not have to make time the day before their session. Once the session is over, there are still 2 more parts of my client experience that I automate. The first is a session recap email that goes out just a couple hours after the session ends. If your clients frequently ask when they can expect to get their photos, I would recommend you give this email a try. Again, answer the question before they have a chance to ask it. In this email, I thank my clients for a great time at their session. I outline my turnaround time, and then, don't miss this part, I also invite them to join my email list. When clients first leave a session with you, this is often when they're most excited to see their pictures and they're really excited about working with you. So it's a great time to make sure that they're set up to hear from you in the future. As a bonus tip, I like to personalize this email when I get to my car after my session. I pull up the email template on my phone, I add a little line about something that happened during the session, and I send that out then still a couple hours later. You don't have to personalize it, but it's a nice touch if you can do that before the automation goes out. Last, but certainly not least, automate your request for testimonials. As much as I would love for every client to look up my Google page and my Facebook page and leave me a review, the reality is most of them aren't going to do that. In fact, in my entire time in business, I can think of exactly 2 clients who have left me a review before I've had the chance to ask them to do so. But there's no shame in asking, so do it. If you give your clients an incredible experience, I think you'll find that a lot of them are more than willing to leave you a testimonial. I find that the sweet spot for this is a few days after you deliver the gallery. By this point, they've gotten the entire client experience, they've seen their final gallery, and hopefully they're very well primed to leave you a nice review. The key here, though, is that this is automated. If you set up this automated email to go out to every single one of your clients after you deliver your gallery, you are going to collect far more reviews than you would if you just waited to see if your client would submit one. Running my business would be so much more tedious if I didn't have all of these automations set up. If you are interested in trying to do this as well, I highly recommend Studio Ninja, which is the CRM that I use for all of my automations and client communication. There are so many options to seamlessly set up templates, automations, and more. If you're ready to spend less time in your inbox while simultaneously giving your clients a better, more consistent experience, you need to give it a try. I will include a link for 20% off in the description below. Thanks for watching, friend. Please like and subscribe. If you have any questions, you can drop those in the comments below, and I will see you next time.